Hello, and welcome to another Luxy Charms. And I am your host, charsielux. And obviously, today we are doing another Halloween inspired video. And I mean, why not? It's the month of Halloween, it is October, it is spooky month, spooky season. Granted, on my channel, we celebrate Halloween 365 days a year. Well, unless it's leap year, then it's less, but you know what I mean. We celebrate Halloween every day of the year. But on my last video that I did, I had done 31 days of Halloween, and basically, I just kind of went through a list of some of my top favorite movies that I am watching or planning to watch for the month of Halloween. Now, this list changes all the time, but obviously, there are those constants, those films that we love and adore that we've grown up with for family traditions that become Halloween favorites. So I put up several different posts to see what are your favorite movies to watch on Halloween. Wanted to know what is your number one favorite film to watch. Now, obviously, some people gave more than one, and that's perfectly fine. Obviously, I gave 31, so. But let me jump into it and let me share what your favorite Halloween films are. And as you can guess, some of them line up with the ones that were on my list, and some of them are different. And that's why I like extending the question out there to show the similarities and differences, and also reminders to me as well to be like, oh yeah, oh my god, that is an amazing film. I should watch that for Halloween as well. And also the ones where there are films that I've never even heard of, where it's like, you know what, I'll have to give that one a shot, see if I can find that film and find out why it is on their Halloween list. I should apologize because I am all over the place today. Like, I don't know what it is about today. It got chilly again, it is rainy, and there's nothing that I hate more than just cold, dreary, gray days. And it's been sunny and beautiful for the last few days, so then switching over to today where it's gray, overcast, cold, and raining, it's like, I feel like all of my energy has been zapped out of me. I'm just trying to get my energy any way possible. And let's get into your list of favorite Halloween movies. And yes, I am indeed a millennial because I have my handy dandy notebook here. So all of my stuff is written down in my notebook. So I appreciate using paper and pen. I like doing it the old fashioned way. It's how I grew up. So, yes, I know I have an iPad and I can type it in there, but no, I'm just gonna use my notebook. And you can't stop me anyway, so.
And to think there was a time when I actually thought you were cool.
You can't tell me what to do. So, no surprise here, several people had this on their list because one, it's just a tradition, anyways, and it was really cute. One of my friends, Brittany Batts, had even said cliche, but you know what? It's not. It is amazing to watch for Halloween, and that is Halloween 1978, the old original one with John Carpenter. And obviously, that was the first one I had named off on my list as well. So, this one was not a surprise to me. Something on my lips and it's gonna drive me nuts. Probably just an animal hair anyway. Just ignore it. More me telling myself, but
Stop it. Get some help.
We also have Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. Now, a couple people had this on their list, and that is one of those where I need to rewatch it. I will admit to the fact that it has been a long time since I've seen the full Halloween franchise all the way through. I have seen the original Halloween every year, several times. It's one of my favorites, and like I've said before, I have to watch it for spooky season. It's even better if you're watching it on Halloween, especially with a bunch of friends. But it's been a while since I've seen the third Halloween. And I think I'd have a new appreciation for it because I know a lot of people don't like it due to the fact of how much different it is from the original. So I think I should try doing that sometime soon. Do a full on Halloween marathon. I've done it with Friday the 13th. I've done it with, well, I almost said Freddy Krueger, but it's technically A Nightmare on Elm Street. But if I say Freddy Krueger, you know what I'm talking about. So I think I need to do the same for Halloween as well and just kind of have a fun Halloween marathon sometime soon. I had several people that had this one on their list as well, which makes me happy because it's obviously on my list as well, and that's It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. And what was cute, one of the people had even said that it's not technically a movie, but you know what? It's a movie short. To me, it is still something that I would consider a tradition of watching for Halloween. So even if it's just like a short episode, or you know what, even a TV series like The Simpsons, when you're talking about the Treehouse of Horrors, I will gladly accept that because you know what? That is a tradition as well. Some of my favorite episodes, and one of the few episodes I still watch of The Simpsons, of The Simpsons is their Halloween specials of the Treehouse of Horrors. Had another person that had mentioned Garfield's Halloween Adventure, so that makes me happy and excited as well because of the fact that like hardly anybody ever talks about the Garfield Halloween Adventures. It's another little TV short, but I'm still gonna consider it, and it is special. It is nostalgic. And it's one of those where there were so many times I would be doing something like in the store, buying candy or seeing something that was a sweet. And all of a sudden I'd be like, candy, 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 candy. And for the longest time, my hubby was like, where do you get that? And it's like, wait a minute, have you never seen the Garfield Halloween special?
Candy, 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 candy. Hello, Halloween.
So that is where that came from. So it makes me so happy to know that other people have this as a tradition as well. This was another one that I had on my list, so it makes me excited to hear repeats because you know what? It just means that we all have the same traditions. Which also means that collectively, if I'm watching the movie, then you're probably watching the movie too. So we're all in the same Halloween spirit. And this one is Friday the 13th. You can't go wrong with that one. It doesn't matter that it is a summertime horror type of idea. It still goes perfectly for the spooky season. This was one I completely forgot about, and a couple people brought it up, and that is the WNUF Halloween special. So I need to track that down and see if I can watch that as well. It has been a long time since I have seen it, and I completely spaced it out and forgot about it. So definitely something to add to your list as well. If you have not seen it or if it's been a while, add it to your new Halloween tradition. This one was not a surprise. 3 different people had Trick or Treat on their list. So yay to all my Trick or Treater fans out there. And like I said, this was made in 2007. It's why I remember it so specially because 2007 was a very special year for me. But it is a phenomenal Halloween horror, I think I said it correctly the last time, analogy story. And each one is so brilliantly filmed. The cinematography is bright, but dark, gritty, and grotesque at the same time. It's such a weird conundrum? That's not the right word.
Nope.
Basically, the whole idea that a movie can be bright and colorful and beautiful, but yet disgusting, gross, and creepy at the same time. I mean, bravo. Like, pulled it off beautifully. Trick or Treat is definitely a treat to watch on Halloween. See what I did there? Another cute one that I totally spaced out, and this would be perfect to watch for Halloween, but House 2. And technically, yes, you could also have House, the original, but I think House 2, and this is my opinion, and I'm sure there's quite a few people, since this one was on my buddy's list and that, House 2, I think, is better than the original. Now, the original is amazing. It's awesome. I love it. But House 2, the second story, is better than the original. You don't get that a lot. So when I forget about this one and then think about it, and it's like, oh yeah, oh my god, how could I forget that film? So yes, watch this one for spooky season. Interesting enough, me and one of my other friends were kind of commenting and talking about this one, and then someone else came in and had added it to their list, and that's The Exorcist, the original OG from 1973. It is still creepy, and it's one of those movies I will never watch at night. Nope. Anything that has to do with ghost or possession, I really cannot watch those movies too much by myself, or if I do, it has to be in daylight. There's just something really creepy about poltergeist, spiritual ghosts, possessions. They really creep me out. And I was glad to know that one of my fellow friends online feels the exact same way. And we were talking about it, and it just was ironic that shortly after our conversation about how we really can't watch it, someone came in and said that's what they love watching for Halloween. So then we also have Zombieland. I didn't have that one on my list, but that is another fantastic, fun film to watch for a Halloween. I mean, I'm going to be repeating myself every single time. Watch it on Halloween. Sleepy Hollow, I also had that one on my list, so makes me excited every time I hear that somebody else is watching the same films as me. The Lost Boys. How could I forget The Lost Boys? Granted, I don't know why I don't watch this one for Halloween. Probably because I watch it all the rest of the year. It's one of my comfort films, and I don't know. I should watch it for Halloween. I mean, it makes sense to watch it for the Halloween season. The original Fright Night of 1985, which I mean, you could watch the newer version as well. You could do it back to back, you could do it separately. They both will work really well for a Halloween season. And obviously, the original one is spot on, amazing, beautifully filmed. The acting is superb in every way possible. But I also like the new one. There's something about it, and I think it's because of the cast that they have in it. And obviously, the original one is going to be better, but there's something quirky and fun about the newer version. So I would definitely say don't sleep on watching both Fright Nights for Halloween. How are you?
A few moments later.
I am definitely having one of those days where I'm having technical difficulties. One of my lights keeps going out, the wire on it's going bad, and I mean, it's gotta be at least 2-3 years old. It's as old as my channel at this point, if not older, because I think it's the same one I was using back when I had my other podcast. So, yeah, we're gonna struggle bus it and continue on. So, it's just the way it is. And you know what? I'm going to be celebrating my 3-year channel anniversary coming up here in December, I think. Because I think I started in December. I think so. Because I think I started Luxmas even back then. And I was dressed up as a Christmas version of Freddy Krueger. So, anywho, continuing on. And I think I have a hair in my eye. And we're just going to continue on because I have stopped this so many times, and you know what? Seasonal depression is a thing, and fighting that, and whatever. Anyway.
This is fine.
So after Fright Night, I had An American Werewolf in London. That is my favorite werewolf movie of all time. I've watched that for Halloween as well. I am sad and mad at myself for not having it on my list because I love An American Werewolf in London. Such an amazing werewolf movie. And the OG of werewolf movies. Well, besides, the original classic. Which we did watch at the Jamboree, so that was cool. But anyway, so Ghostbusters, that was also on my list. So definitely a good one to watch. The Howling, another amazing werewolf movie that is perfect. And amazing for spooky season. And the tone in that one is, oh, it's so good. So I'm glad to see that one. That, you know what, these movies that I failed to mention, I'm glad you guys are mentioning them, because it's like, yeah, right? That one is amazing too. That's what's so hard. There are so many amazing movies out there. You can't just fit them all in. I mean, you could try, but Blade. Oh my god. My number one favorite movie of all time. It technically would mean that it's my favorite horror movie of all time too, because I didn't realize for years that Blade is considered a horror film. So I had always said that The Thing is my favorite horror film, but it's Blade, because Blade is horror. Details. I mean, it's a superhero movie more than anything. So, you know, Blade, The Thing, whatever. They're both my favorite films of all time. Hair is gonna drive me nuts, but if I stop filming, I feel like something else is going to go wrong. So there's probably a hair hanging out in front of my eye this whole entire time. Well, I mean, I know it's there because I can feel it. But anyway, which you could do the whole franchise. And you know what? Oh man, I guess I can't really say yet, because I mean, it would still be considered spoilers at this point. Oh, there's a certain movie that recently came out that you could have the possibility of seeing Wesley Snipes in go in line with the franchise. If you know, you know about that. Oh, that's so hard, because it's like, God, I guess it would still be considered a spoiler, because, I mean, it's technically out now, and it's been out for quite some time, but you know what? We're gonna leave it there. Blade, watch Blade. Blade is amazing. Blade is fantastic. And The Mummy. Oh my god, I love The Mummy. Brandon Fraser, I love and adore him as an actor. It's The Mummy. How do you explain this one? Like, the best way to say is that it is every movie genre slammed into one, and The Mummy is perfect to watch for Halloween season. At some point in time, I really should do a movie review of The Mummy, because you know what? It's one of my favorite films, and I know it's one of my favorite films. Half the time I don't bring it up, but it's like, as soon as somebody says The Mummy, I'm like, oh my god, I love the movie. It's so amazing. And like I said, it's every genre that you could think of slammed into one film, and it's fantastic. Then The Nightmare Before Christmas, which, once again, that was on my list too, and it doesn't surprise me that it's on others' list as well. It is a traditional film, family tradition, nostalgic. I mean, it's an amazing fun film to watch, and you can watch it for Christmas as well. Then you have the OG The Fog from 1980, another John Carpenter film. Now, it kinda is one of those things where you stop and you think about it. How many John Carpenter films technically are perfect for Halloween season? And I mean, I had quite a few on my list as well. But The Fog is a beautifully spooky film that is perfect for Halloween. Unlike the other movie that this same friend had suggested, which was obviously a spoof, but him trying to say Die Hard. That's a Christmas movie.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Then another one that I absolutely love. This is the one that I have to watch on Halloween, and that's Ernest Scared Stupid. So I love that other people love this movie. It is so ridiculous and silly, and the trolls are so creepy, and I love that they're the old original killer clowns from outer space. So, yes, I'm so happy this is on someone else's list as well. And then we have Scare Package, another good one to watch, and Creepshow, another one where I'm like wanting to hit myself in the face, like, duh, I love Creepshow. So good, so amazing. So all of Creepshow. Like, you can even go through the OG shows, you can go through the new ones. Hell, saying that, you can even say Tales from the Crypt. Like, just, they're all so good and amazing and perfect for spooky season. All year round. Just all year round. Poltergeist, another good one. Amazing one. Not just good, amazing, fantastic. But one of those I cannot watch by myself unless it's during the day. There's something about, I don't know, just possession altogether. Maybe because I have my own ghost story so because of the fact of that happening, it's pretty easy for me to be like, oh, this creeps me out because I've experienced something. Not similar, because mine wasn't scary or anything like that. Well, I mean, it's scary as it's happening, but a friendly experience, I will say. I will share that story eventually at some point in time. But anyway, Poltergeist, another good one. Not to be confused with Poultrygeist. That one's ridiculous, but you could watch that for Halloween too. Poltergeist is phenomenal though. Another cute one that was suggested was The Worst Witch, that they have turned that one into a family tradition of watching it every Halloween. I think that is amazing. See, these are the things I love. I love hearing these stories. I love hearing what everybody else is doing, because everyone forms and creates their own traditions that will be passed along over the years. And there's just something special about it. Because it's like, my family, it was always the silly movies. And holiday season was about Rich Little's Christmas Carol and that kind of stuff. So obviously, I had Ernest Scared Stupid and Hocus Pocus. That was another one to add to the list, was Hocus Pocus. And Eddie Murphy's The Haunted Mansion. That one's making a comeback, and both amazing movies to watch, especially with your kids, and to turn it into a tradition. Because obviously, I'm a full grown adult, at least I think I am half the time, and I still watch Hocus Pocus every year. And one of the best suggestions that I saw someone say was just a Halloween movie marathon in general, which I had mentioned at the beginning of. I need to do that sometime soon, because I've watched the original one so many times, and I need to watch all the other ones again. And I need to watch all the new ones too. I've never seen the Rob Zombie ones. I've never seen any of the new ones at all. And I think the last one I ever watched was Halloween Resurrection, which a lot of people hate. So I'm curious to see that one again, because I think that's the one with Tyra Banks, and it's a game show, or can't talk half the time, or it's turned into a reality TV series. Yeah, I should watch that. Maybe talk about those films too, or rate them. Ideas. The last one I was given on the list was called The Highwaymen, from 2004, and I have never seen this movie. I was curious to know why that one is a Halloween tradition, because I've never even heard of it. So let's look it up. I think that stupid hair finally got out of my eye. Or I've just stopped noticing. You know, kind of like an oyster with a pearl, except my eye doesn't turn sand into pearls. Anywho, not so strange things. So, for this one, it says, Rennie Cray embarks on a bloodthirsty rampage to avenge the death of his wife, who was struck down by a serial killer, a man who hunts and kills women using his 72 El Dorado. I have not heard of this, so I'm gonna have to find this film and watch it and see. But yeah, it says action, crime, horror, thriller. So, see, this is the other thing that I love, getting your guys' suggestions and your favorites, because I'll find things I've never even heard of before. So I'm gonna add that to my list and give that one a go and see how that one is, because that sounds really good. I love crime horror. Like, there's something special about crime horror. Well, one, they're fantasy and they're fake, because true crime stuff, I've noticed if I watch or listen to a lot of true crime that are real cases and that, I'll get very anxious, because that's reality. I love horror because it's not reality. But anyway, that, I believe, was everything on my list. I think I hit everything. Well, besides anyone that if your comments came after I recorded it, I apologize that it's not added to my list, but huge thank you to everyone who participated. Thank you for all of your movies and letting me know what your favorite movies are to watch on Halloween. And technically, they can be scattered out all throughout spooky season. I mean, gosh, for the month of November, I probably could go through all the ones that I don't have my list and watch those because for me, spooky season is all year round. It doesn't matter that it's not October anymore. I could care less. I will have the spirit of Halloween with me always, and I'm an adult now. I can do that. But anyway, thank you so much for joining me here on another Luxy Charms. Thank you for bearing with me on a very chaotic episode. Who knows? I'll probably edit so much of this that you'll be like, what are you talking about? Or I'll just leave most of it so you know exactly what I'm talking about. But if you would like to follow me on any of my other social medias, there will be a link in the description down below. And remember, I am the afterlife of the party, but I would love for you to join me in the afterlife of the party. And the best and easiest way to do that is to come and join me on my Patreon. And on the screen, you can see a shout out to all of my fellow Patreon members. So, huge thank you for joining me on there. Your love and support helps me every single day, and I appreciate everything that you guys help me out with. And also, a special shout out to my Ultimate Luxes. So, thank you so much to Kurt, Chris Bruner, LJ Christensen, and Bishop. Thank you for being Ultimate Luxes with me. And always remember to slay. Subscribe, like, and always be yourself. And if you didn't get a chance to comment what your Halloween favorites are that you like to watch, go ahead and leave a comment on this video right here. Let me know what are some of your favorite Halloween movies that you love to watch. Until next time, have a Luxy Charms kind of day and stay extra spooky. Bye!